Up next, big hopes for a tiny backyard.
Where we have it now, we can't enjoy it.
We wanted more entertaining space.
Crews built a new patio with features that look large.
The pergola is going to be a 13 by 15 overall, which gives them plenty of space to entertain.
But it doesn't measure up when it starts to take shape.
We thought we'd get another 3 or 4 feet of patio, and this is significantly shorter.
In a space this small, every inch counts, and every detail is huge.
Pruning can almost be an art form.
It is an art form. There's a lot more ways to do it wrong than to do it right.
I'm Justin Cave and this is Groundbreakers. If you know me, you know I love big stuff. Big dogs, big machines, big landscape projects. But even small spaces deserve good design, and that's what today's project is all about. The yard may be tiny, but the transformation is going to be massive. Come on. Michael, Paula, you guys have a small backyard. I'd ask you to show me around, but we can take it all in from one spot.
We've got a small backyard, but we actually have a big visual space. Where we have it now, we can't enjoy it. We've got these little pads that we can maybe sit in plastic chairs on.
This really isn't much patio space right here.
We wanted more entertaining space. So, you know, the thought of maybe having a sun deck, lots of nice pretty plants to look at, someplace where Michael could come out and barbecue. He's a great cook. So, entertaining space,
Yes, I am.
and that's what we were looking for.
That led homeowners Michael and Paula to think about a patio, and that led them to landscape designer John Madison.
To put a patio in here, that means you're going to have to level this off. How do you plan to do that?
Basically what we're going to do, Justin, is we're going to come in on either corner of the house. We're going to bring an anchor block retaining wall. We're going to extend it back all the way to the utility easement, straight across the back, and then we'll refill this entire area with topsoil.
So you're going to terrace the patio.
It'll actually step up to a second level, so then they're going to have which we call a paver sun deck. So she can put her lounge chairs out there and get a little sun while...
Soak up some rain.
Exactly.
John's plan calls for installing over 800 square feet of pavers on the new patio. It will eat up almost the entire backyard. So Michael's lawnmower? Gone. But that patio could look pretty plain without some vertical interest. John's plan has that taken care of.
What do you guys think about the plan for the pergola?
Very excited about the pergola. I think it'll be very pretty, very romantic to have nice candlelight dinners out here at night.
We actually had the idea of a table in one of those little gazebos you get at a big box store, but John really came to and said, you want something that's going to really add value, but also really have a lot of character.
Definitely.
That pergola is going to do it.
Pergola is going to be a 13 by 15 overall. It's going to be made out of cedar.
And 13 by 15, that's a pretty good sized pergola.
It's a decent sized pergola. It gives them plenty of room to put a nice big table, have chairs inside of there, and have plenty of room to move around. They don't feel like they're condensed in this little room.
So I've heard rumors that the idea of a water feature is being kicked around.
Definitely, and I think it's going to happen. The boss is saying yes, so I don't know if...
The boss, Michael or Paula?
Definitely Paula. The nice thing about the water feature is going to give a lot of incentive to this little corner here, because not only is it going to give you a nice feature with the bubbling pot, very simple, subtle, but it's also going to help deter the noise from the AC unit.
Let's talk about plants.
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to use some crepe myrtles, some knockout roses to give you some nice pop of color, some nice ornamental grasses, give you some nice flow through the flower beds, give you some nice movement.
Right.
But at the same time, we're going to limit our bed space because we want to maximize the most amount of space for patio and entertainment.
Because John's plan all but eliminates the yard from Michael and Paula's backyard, they'll use containers for plant material on the patio. And a few pots they've picked out are already being delivered.
We love that pot.
That's a cool pot.
That's Paula actually, she picked us. She said when we walked into the place, this is the first one she saw. And we went all the way around and came back to still having to get this pot. And what John's going to do is, we're going to have the drip irrigation, so we're going to hopefully use that to put some up in there. That will actually help keep everything nice and moist.
And then you don't have the responsibility of watering it every day.
That is fantastic. No more lawn mowing, no more watering. I'm in good shape.
And you guys are going for that European old world feel, so you're not going to do any palm trees or anything like that.
We've traveled quite a bit, and we've been lucky to do that. So when we were in Germany one year, we sat outside at a beer garden, and there were these beautiful trees above us, and we were having a good time drinking our beer, and we thought as much as we can get, as close as we can get to that, we'd like to do that.
Very good. Now is your chance. Now is the time.
I can't wait. Let's get going.
The truck's here, the guys are ready. But before anything at all can happen in the backyard, John will have to think about how to get his men and machines to the backyard.
We're looking at a a very limited amount of space here to get in.
You've got your tape measure.
Yep.
How much access do we actually have right now?
We're dealing with approximately 18 inches of
So that's
access.
not much.
No, not nearly enough.
That means no heavy machinery.
It's way too tight, so it's much easier just to do it the old style way, like to build the pyramids and just bring the things in here by wheelbarrows and by hand.
Back and forth, back and forth.
Yep, a lot of old school Egyptian style work.
But the ancient Egyptians never had one of these. It's called a power buggy, and it's basically a souped-up, motorized monster wheelbarrow. It can handle more than a ton and holds as much fill dirt as 3 regular wheelbarrows. At less than 4 feet wide, it stays on a track of plywood the crew has put down to minimize the mess. Then it's 7 miles an hour all the way to the backyard, where the soil is dumped and spread out to start building up the level for the new patio. Meanwhile, a sod cutter is used to slice through the existing lawn. Paula watches the new entertainment space start to take shape from inside the house with videotape rolling.
Well, there goes the grass. I thought it was going to be maybe, I don't know, 3 feet or so deeper than it is, but you know, we have a lot line and rules to follow, so that's what we have to do, but it looks pretty good, I think, so far.
But when we come back, Michael doesn't agree.
Not so happy today, huh?
No. The problem is if we put all these plantings in there, it's going to leave very little space.
So John goes back to the drawing board and comes up with a solution that's a bit off the wall.